This podcast may contain spoilers as well as coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Funkmaster Bex. We're here with the Our Anime Podcast, and we're going to talk about a movie this time. A long-awaited movie. Of course, we're talking about the Shirobako movie. Today, I've got Ember Reviews. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I have not slept in like 20 hours.
Yikes.
I'm doing okay. I'm running off fumes. Let's fucking do this. And I also have Smurf with me. Smurf Rock Rune. How are you, Smurf?
Hi. Oh, I'm doing pretty well. I haven't had donuts in long enough.
I was going to say, I should have got some celebratory Don donuts.
When I went to see this movie, I was going to order donuts, but the theater didn't even have any.
I feel like donuts is not like a usual like theater food. I almost feel like
my theater has like funnel cakes. Why wouldn't they have donuts?
I think there was one specific theater that actually had donuts specifically for this movie. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was in like LA or something.
Oh, was it like the premiere or some shit?
Yeah.
Having donuts at a theater sounds like an LA thing, I'll be honest. That sounds... It's like right there with the gourmet like PB&J sandwiches that they sell for like $10 each.
The theaters I go to sell like burgers and pizza and hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, I do have a theater downtown in my area that doesn't really show anime films, but they do this thing where it's like you can actually order like a full-on like meal there. It's actually kind of cool. Like you can get like deep fried pickle slices. All of their food is named after like movies, like well-known movies or whatever. Super cool shit, actually. I like it.
That sounds cool.
I wish they showed anime movies there because I would love to eat something and then watch like, I don't know, Promare there or something. That would be cool. We'll see. Maybe one day. Okay. Anyway, I guess we should just talk about the movie itself. Maybe we want to start with like expectations going in because we're all like fans of the series, right? Like, I guess Smurf, if you want to talk about like your expectations.
No, I hate it. Yeah. Awful. 2 out of 10.
Oh my god.
No, it's a great series. My expectations going into this movie were that I had tempered expectations. I thought it would be good. I did not expect it to reach the quality of the series. I honestly thought that I was overhyping myself for the movie, just for how much I love the series. So I went into it with lowered expectations, and I guess those expectations were met. I liked the movie, but I didn't think it was as good as the series. But that's kind of what I expected, and that's what I got. So can't complain.
Do you remember when it was announced? Like the movie was?
Oh, God.
Because I want to say we were waiting for this for a while, right?
It had to have been at least 2 or 3 years ago.
Sorry if my typing comes in. No, it was not. Well, actually,
it came out in like
it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it aired 2020, actually, and didn't come out until 2021. But I think it was announced, I almost want to say 2017 or 2018. Something like that.
2018.
Wow.
April 28th, 2018.
4 years after the series. That's kind of crazy. Shit.
And when did it actually release? February 2020. So yeah. So it took about 2 years after the announcement, and then about a year and a half for it to actually come to the US.
Right.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Ember, did you have like expectations going in, or were you kind of like similar to Smurf? Like you were like looking forward to it?
I vaguely remember really liking the series, but in the interim, like 6 years or whatever since that series, I've gotten really into Tsutomu Mizushima as a director. Like he just fascinates me, so I ended up getting more interested in this movie, and so I think I actually went into it like even more excited than the series, and somehow it even exceeded that expectation for me. Like I loved this movie.
Wow.
That's awesome. He is definitely a very unique director.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually pretty familiar with this guy's work now that I'm looking at his work on Mao. Like a lot of like, I would say kind of goofy shows.
I feel like you can sum up.
Not all of them are like comedy, right? But like there's like another which is kind of goofy.
He did another?
Okay, yeah, he did another.
He also did he also did Myoiga, the Lost
that's what I was
Village.
gonna
Yeah, I was gonna say he did My Ego, which is really goofy.
I was gonna say I feel like you can sum up this guy's work in 3 shows, which is Shirobako, Girls and Panzer,
He
and
also
My
did
Weekend.
Prison School. He's like a comedy dude.
Like
Yeah,
those
Prison-
3, I
Hell
feel
yeah.
like just encapsulate this guy's career.
Wow, this guy's
It's like
yeah, no,
he's really good at comedy, and he really likes military tech.
oh yeah, he
like
did Girls and
old
Panzer.
school
Let's
military.
go.
Yeah,
And he did Kotobuki as well.
yeah.
90% Kotobuki. Which, by the way, fantastic sound design in that one. Loved the
Yes.
sound design in that show.
Really good. Like I want to say camera work with in quotation marks since it's animation, but
It's
like,
camera.
there's this-
I mean, yeah.
yeah, like there's a shot in like a POV shot inside the plane cockpit or like on the wing or something in episode 1
Yeah.
that's just phenomenal.
Yeah, that show had, like, the actual plane stuff in that show was tremendous. Everything else was iffy.
Hit and miss.
But,
Yeah.
but the plane stuff was excellent. So he seems like the kind of guy, he seems like the kind of director that's really, really knows how to hone in on something and make this, like, one thing perfect.
Yes.
To me. Yeah, very, very fascinating director. And so I was, I don't know, a little maybe worried about this movie as well coming out of that, because other than like I love Shirobako, and I think Girls and Panzer is good, but other than that, I don't really think he has that great of work outside of those 2, so I was almost just kind of worried that Shirobako was a fluke, and that the movie would just kind of not be good. I was a little worried about it, but I shouldn't have been.
To be honest, I had like 0 expectations going in, mostly because I kind of forgot this movie was a thing until I saw that it was like, there was a tweet about it, I think from either Sentai or G-Kids on Twitter, obviously, because that's where tweets come from.
I think it's 11 Arts who
Yeah,
is
no,
doing it.
11 Arts, that's right, yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. There's a Shirobako movie coming out around the time that there's like... I'm guessing it didn't come out until 2021 because of COVID. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just realized
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I'm sure.
And I'm like, oh, I guess that'll be like one of the first movies I get to see now that like theaters are back up. It was the second movie, actually. The first one was Josie and the Tiger and the scuba diving kid or whatever it was. That was a really forgettable movie. But let's see. Yeah, no, sorry, that was a little tangent.
I forgot that came out.
Yeah, no, it was.
I was.
People, it's weird because like people like creamed over that on Mal. Like it's got a high rating on Mal, but like the movie itself was like whatever. To be honest.
Well, so if I'm wrong, that has a girl in a wheelchair in it, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, people love disabled girls, so I think
It seems like it would hit the same niche as Pancreas.
Well, it's got like there's this Katawa Shoujo, right? There's Koi no Katachi. Like people just love girls with disabilities.
Yeah.
I can see that, yeah.
It makes for great drama.
Right. I was looking forward to this movie being my first movie back in theaters, and it ended up being my third movie after the pandemic.
Okay, look at you, you busy man.
Yeah, I went to the Kimetsu no Yaiba movie.
Oh,
I also saw that one.
Where I had some teenagers pop into the theater. So I was in the back. It was like a half theater I was in. So in the back row was like the middle row for a normal theater, but I was like right up against the door. Right as the movie was starting, these three teenagers came walking in and like tapped me on the shoulder and were like, "Hey, who's your favorite character?" And I don't know. Like, I don't really care that much. So I was like, I don't know. And they went, "Oh, mine's Goku." And they all started laughing and ran out. And I was like, okay, that was something.
I get the impression they were just high as shit, and they just did not give a fuck.
And then I saw Black Widow, and then I watched Shirobako.
Interesting. I was actually going to go see the Lupin CG movie. Lupin the First, or was it Lupin the Third the First? I don't know. It's
The
very
Third the
confusing
First.
title. I hate that title so much. I ended up not seeing it because of scheduling conflicts, but yeah.
I just saw it at home. It was okay. It's fine. It's good. It's like good for one viewing.
Mm-hmm. I like seeing anime films like in theaters just so I can continue seeing them, if that makes sense. Like I like supporting it, but
Right.
if I can, I saw that Promare is showing again in my area, and I'm like, yo, it's on a day that I have off too, and I'm like, yes.
I always have interesting experiences when I would see anime movies in theaters. Like when I saw the first Heaven's Feel movie, I was sitting before the movie started, and there were people talking ahead of me, and there was one girl that was like, "You gotta read the VN, it's so much better." And I was like, "This is a fake fan in the wild! Like I found one. She was right there."
I felt like Steve Irwin right there.
And when I went and saw Sword Art Online, Ordinal
God,
Scale,
that's like kind of an old one at this point. Wow.
There was that scene of like the idol performance in the mall or whatever.
Yes.
If you guys saw that. And so I was sitting next to this mom that was with her 2 kids, and she was hating every second of it. She was groaning,
like how young were the kids though?
Like 12 or 13, maybe.
Okay.
So perfect age for SAO.
Oh yeah, perfect age for that
pretty
movie,
much.
because there's a particular scene
funny.
that's like, oh, okay, cool, sweet.
And when I saw the second Boku no Hero movie, that one was actually fun because when I got back to my car, my Spotify turned on shuffle, and it actually picked a Boku no Hero OP as I was leaving the theater, so that was pretty cool. But nice. I was next to this guy who was like, who loved the movie, and I accidentally went full Source Reader on him. So that was my bad, but it happens.
I think my worst anime like viewing experience in theaters is watching the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie a couple years back, and the whole theater just smelled of weed. That's
for Dragon Ball. That tracks.
That's right. Like
and in a state where it's legal, that makes sense.
And I was like, all right, someone's bullet. I mean, if there was a movie to watch high as shit, it would probably be Broly. Like, those fight scenes are fucking ridiculous. I would love to see that.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Oh my god, dude.
No, I want to finish Super first. But
I do have one really bad anime theater experience. I went to see the Boruto movie, and
that's your first red flag, buddy.
Well, there's a Boruto movie?
Yeah, it's like Boruto something.
Is it the original, like the Naruto one that has Boruto?
Naruto the Last or something?
Or is it actually a Boruto
Naruto
movie?
the Last is like the Naruto and Hinata story. And then after that is Boruto, which is like the arc that it's basically the last thing Kishimoto supervised. So.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, what happened was something was wrong with the projection, so everything was very red. And it was just so distracting the whole time. And it didn't get fixed at all throughout the entire screening.
The movie was just fucking angry.
Yeah,
everybody in the crowd basically had Sharingan contact lenses.
Yeah, it looked like everyone was made of bubble gum. Like their skin was like super pink.
Interesting. So, to bring it back, so we should probably talk about Shirobako. To bring it back to Shirobako, I heard that some people had a kind of not great viewing experience with this movie.
I heard they were definitely common. I had issues at my theater. I've heard from several other people that also had issues, although I've heard from people that had much worse issues than me.
Yeah. I've heard about a lot of the issues.
I don't think I noticed anything, but then I hear people like they got like a 720p version and they like tried to blow it up to like, I guess the whole theater screen, and it looked really bad kind of thing.
Mine was definitely 720.
Yeah, I don't know if mine was 720 per se, but it was definitely a lower resolution than it could have been.
It did look a little bit better when I saw it, a little.
But
bit.
I watched it, and I thought it was off. I stopped noticing it like 5 minutes in,
Yeah.
And then when I got home, and I downloaded the movie so I could take screenshots of Zuka.
Oh, okay.
I had to take screenshots of Zuka specifically. I was like, damn, this looks so much better. Like, this is so much. This is such a better. I mean,
if you blow up
quality.
like any movie, like it'll look kind of funny, I guess. I mean, it's I don't know.
Yeah, but I didn't have any of the subtitle issues that other people were having. Like,
no, I didn't have that. No.
Yeah.
Okay. And apparently, so there was one thing Maz was saying.
Oh, go ahead.
Maz was saying that his image was too far to the right, so it was actually looping back onto the left side.
It was so conservative, yeah. Horseshoe theory.
Because he was saying, do you remember in the ending credits there was like the scene of the people on like that boat or whatever?
Yes, I do. I do. Yes.
He was saying that part of the boat went off to the right and came back onto the left.
It's awesome. Actually. It's like one of those like you spin the wheel kind of thing, and it's a bunch of like moving pictures kind of thing. That's right. Kind of what reminds me.
And you don't stop it in the right spot.
You don't stop it at the right spot at all. Oh, that's great. No, I didn't have too many problems, but there was like this interesting spelling of Miyamori's name in the intro. They spelled it M-Y-A as opposed to M-I-Y-A.
Yeah,
and then for the rest of the movie, they spell it M-I-Y-A, which is, as far as I know, is the correct spelling. But I always thought that was really weird.
I've seen Miyamori before without the I.
Maybe it's like a cutesy way of saying it.
I figured it was like some type of like cutesy way or just something that I didn't understand.
I feel like a lot of times, like if it's like a nickname, I feel like it doesn't come across as well.
That's probably
in subtitles.
What it is. But yeah, no, it's something I noticed and I was like, oh, I don't understand that. But it didn't. It's not like a big problem. Sometimes
I feel like nicknames don't come through. I know, Becker, I know you're not watching Tokyo Revengers, or I don't know if Ember is.
The way that you guys talk about it, fuck no.
But the main character, the main character has a nickname that I don't hear a difference in how they say it at all. So he's Takemichi, so Takemichi. So, Michi, pretty normal. But the character's nickname for him is Takemichi, Mitchy. But I don't hear a difference in what they say at all. I only know it because the subtitles are spelled differently. And it's so weird to me. It's like, how is that a nickname when it sounds identical? You're not saying anything different.
You're not shortening anything. You're just spelling it differently.
You're just saying Takemichi or something, but it doesn't sound any different. It's so weird. So I wonder if that's kind of the same thing here, where it's not something. Maybe if you're a Japanese speaker,
I wonder if this is like a Japanese kind of thing, and not like it doesn't translate particularly well into English. If that makes sense, that's my guess.
Or maybe it's like an issue of like maybe like some of, I don't know, maybe for like something like the one of the Japanese side corporations like provided subtitles for some of it or something.
I wonder.
Could be.
Yeah, because that's been happening a lot more lately.
Yeah. Because you'll see a lot of like Japanese releases that have English subtitles on them. And so they're the ones who sub that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, they said no, they sometimes, those pesky Japanese corporations always sometimes just stick their nose in where they don't belong. Like in English translations.
Speaking of pesky Japanese corporations, the plot of this movie
is pesky Japanese corporation. Let's go.
Excellent segue. Yeah, the plot was pretty was all right. I wasn't a huge fan of how much of a downer it was to start.
I kind of disagree actually. I fucking love the doomy ass opening. I thought that was fantastic. I wish the movie was like more of a downer. I know that sounds really cynical, but like I kind of wish it was sad a little bit more.
I get what you're saying. You wish that we kind of like,
because I feel like I don't want to like shit on the show necessarily. I like the show, but I always felt like the show didn't go far enough in some ways with like, I guess, the more tragic parts of working in the industry. But this movie like kind of went there. Actually, I'm like, oh, this is kind of what I've been wanting like for a while now. And then like they kind of go back to like, oh, everything's really happy by the end. If that makes sense.
We're gonna crank out a movie in 7 months.
Yeah, they did that, and I was like, that's cute, but like that, how does that happen? How the fuck does that happen?
Yeah. Well, to lead with a bit of a personal anecdote, like I do anime analysis on YouTube. In particular, I've been doing stuff for Anime News Network lately, and literally the day before I went to see this movie, I had turned in a project, and I didn't give myself enough time for it, and B, it ended up being way longer and more extensive than I expected. So I was just, I felt a lot of parallels with a lot of the stuff in this show. Just the putting your nose to the fucking grindstone, just hammering everything out, even though you don't like what you're making, you think it could be so much better, but when you finally finish it, you feel that relief, that euphoria of seeing what you made on screen. So I was like literally on the verge of tears during that opening act, just seeing that depression that everyone was going through with hating the position they were in with their art, because I was so heavily related to that in that moment.
Well, that's really cool though. Like, that's awesome that you could do something like that. And I get it. Like, it's the kind of thing, like, even though I'm not like really a creator, I still can empathize with that kind of mindset of either being frustrated that you're not doing something that you really care about, or in some cases, like being too much of a perfectionist where the schedule's getting away from you. Like, I get it. It didn't touch me as personally, obviously, but I definitely understand it for sure. I personally liked the second half of the movie a lot more when it was happier. I do think it was a bit silly that they get a whole anime movie done from scratch in like 7 months. Like, that's pretty ridiculous.
Well,
but
it's technically not from scratch, technically.
It's made from parts, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had to animate all of it, right? Didn't they only have like the
animation is from scratch, yes.
Yeah, but all the mechanics of the movie are like, kind of from other stuff, so.
Yeah, that's true. Time hippopotamus.
Oh, that's the funniest shit ever. It's just, we're gonna do time hippopotamus.
Right, man. After doing Two Piece.
Oh man, Two Piece. Fuck yeah. I forgot how like kind of dank this show is with just like referencing a lot of stuff and then also just making up like the stupidest shit ever.
They had Uma Musume in the background. I don't remember what they called it.
Yeah, they did. There was I can't remember what it was, but I remember that. Yeah.
Maybe it was like Umu Megane or something.
I will say on that topic, like, something I remember from the TV series is, like, probably one of my few negative points with it was the shows they were making kind of felt like shell shows, just like concepts that didn't feel like real things to me. But with the movie, I felt like they got closer to this is something that might have actually been made by someone.
I can agree with that. I felt a lot more watching like the end scene of the movie that they made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the movie than I ever did even watching like the pilot episodes of the originals. I don't know if you guys watched those.
No, yeah, there were some OVAs. It came out after the show, right? Like,
yeah, I didn't get around to those.
Yeah, so there's two OVAs. The first one is the first episode of Exodus, and the second one's the first episode of Third Aerial Girl Squad. So they made a full episode for each show, which is really cool. But I didn't feel as much watching those. And they were fun to watch, but watching the final scene that they had here, I really, really liked it. Like, I thought it was great, and I was like,
no,
I was like really invested.
It was like kind of beautiful. That whole ending sequence was like, like touching. Like, I was like, oh my god, this is great.
It was definitely touching.
Yeah, and you could actually feel the difference between, like, because like in the movie, like at the last minute they changed the ending because it doesn't feel strong enough, and you can actually feel the difference between the two endings, like emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
very good.
I guess I have like a question though, so I guess we should talk about maybe some of the characters, or maybe lack of some characters in this movie. There's one character in particular that got kind of shafted. Some fans didn't like that she got kind of shafted. I think it was Diesel-san, right? Like, Diesel-san was like kind of put to the sidelines a little bit. It was more of like Aoi and Zuka and who's the CG girl's name?
I don't remember.
Okay, we'll just go with CG girl. But I remember talking with some people in the Discord that like
Misa Toto,
that Diesel-san, who does not dress like a Disney Channel original show person anymore.
Much better fashion
that's
sense.
A huge dub for her right there.
Huge upgrade.
Huge dub. We're gonna have to award her a big dub for that one.
Okay. She's the screenwriter one, right?
Yeah, she's the writer girl. Yeah, she didn't get as much screen time, and I think some people felt a little hurt by that.
They kind of pulled back her and Emma.
Yeah,
big time. Which I was a little sad about that, but also I liked Misa having way more screen time because I've always felt like she got shafted hard.
Yeah, she got kind of shafted hard in the show. Yeah. So, yeah.
I wasn't super missing Diesel-san. I think the part they gave her was like the important part for her character, and it worked. I wonder if a lot of this sentiment comes from people who have seen the show more recently.
I wonder.
Again, we're all people who haven't seen this in like 5 years. So
yeah,
right. But I was happy with the at least with like the main five. I think I was happy kind of with the focus they gave because like Aoi I feel like has to have the most focus because she is the main character.
Mm-hmm.
And then the series had so much on Emma and Diesel. And they kind of pulled back and then gave it to Zuka and Misa this time. Which Zuka I know was pretty prominent, had a few really prominent scenes in the series. But I always kind of felt like even she wasn't really used that much in the series anyway.
I feel like she was the least prominent of the five in the TV series. So
I guess
like
that's the problem when you have like such a large cast. Even outside of like the main cast, you have everyone at Mushi Productions. Which is like, well, how do you juggle all these characters just showing up? Which was like, I like that it was like, the way that they did in this movie was like, a lot of them kind of moved on from anime production, like the dude who bakes cakes, or...
Well, he did that in the series.
I loved him.
When he showed up. I was like, yes, let's go!
And he looked like he was happy. He looked so happy.
Yeah, he was no longer in the hellscape known as the anime.
He did that.
industry.
He did that in the series.
Yeah, he moved away. Yeah,
halfway through the series, he
moved away in the series, and it was like, I'm glad that we got like to see him like one last time, kind of thing. This movie felt almost like I wouldn't say it was pandering, but it felt like it was for the fans mostly. I think
there were some things that I felt like didn't do a whole lot for the narrative, but just kind of like, okay, we have to throw that in there just for the fan. Like putting the director in that cage again. Like they didn't really need to do that, but at the same time,
but it did feel it's like, okay, we got to do it because it was in the series, kind of thing.
It's a fun little throwback.
Yeah. They also threw back Ano. That was great. Fucking love it.
Yes. That one shot of him.
Also,
Audio-kun, let's go.
Callbacks. I was going to mention her. Audio-kun is back.
She shows up a lot, actually. She actually has like
nobody knows.
Line. Yeah,
nobody knows who she is. I saw her in the. Becker and I know who it is because we have a friend who's a huge fan of her, and uses her as his Discord picture. So nobody cares about her normally, but there's a group of people who know. But I kept seeing her, and I was like, "They brought Audio-kun back," and I was losing my mind in the theater when she talked. And I was like, they actually got Rie Takahashi back.
Saw her. I was like,
yes, role. They got her back to do one line. Are you serious?
Oh, it's Rie Takahashi.
Yeah. So
wait, no,
this was like one of her first.
That's so funny.
It was one of her first roles in anime ever.
That is so funny.
Was this Shirobako character? And like she has some roles in the series. She has some lines in the series, but she's not a big name yet. So
this was a pre-Konosuba thing.
Yeah.
So.
This was like right before she had her, I think, her Soragaseiyu role. So I was like, oh, there's Audio-kun. Too bad she's not going to talk. Like, they're not going to bring Rie Takahashi back with how big she is now. And then when she talked, I was like, oh my god, they did it. They got it back for a line. Nobody in the theater probably cared at all.
I was the only person in the theater. I think I was the only person out of like 5 people in the theater seeing it. I was the only one just sitting there like, let's fucking go. Audio-kun is back. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't remember this character at all. But yeah, this movie has a lot of like just fun nods to the series, which depending on how you view the film might make it a little bloated. But this movie never felt long to me, even though it was like 2 hours long.
I forgot that it was 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, I needed to pee so bad about the 1 hour mark. I definitely felt how long it was.
Yeah. Like I've described this before, but it's like, it's a very dense movie with a lot of ideas, but it never feels like you're slogging through those ideas.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a slog at all. Like it felt like it kind of just every scene kind of felt like a step forward. Like, okay, we're making progress. Like, we're constantly making progress. Because some movies you can kind of feel like they just lose the thread and you're just wasting 25 minutes on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the case of some movies, you waste an hour and a half of doing nothing.
Which movie is this?
I feel like I know what movie this is.
Which movie is
go
this?
ahead.
Hanato Alice.
Wait, which one is
that?
Oh, is it the one that looks like
that's the
Akinohana,
rotoscoped
right?
one.
That's the one where they they discover a mystery. They set out to solve it. They fuck around for an hour and a half, and then they solve the mystery out of nowhere at the end. And it's a complete waste of time.
It was like I think the mystery was like a total, basically a wild goose chase for nothing. It was much more about the characters, but yeah, if you were in that for the mystery, you were left high and dry.
Yes, like me. I was like, oh, a mystery show. This sounds fun. A mystery, this sounds fun. Okay, they're not doing this at all. Okay, I see what they're doing. One other character that I really like they brought back that I did want to mention was the goth chick.
Yes, they
goth
brought back
chick.
Goth Lolly song.
And
Yes.
bring her. I thought that was so good when she got caught jogging.
Yeah, like they have that moment where she's like not in her aesthetic and she's super embarrassed by it.
She's been exposed.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, I did like the new characters. I don't know, or new character, I guess. The one new girl.
I forgot
They
actually
brought
who the
in-
new girl was.
I don't. I remember she had that cool like samurai scene. That was cool.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I gotta
she's
say
new.
that samurai scene at the end where they're like rushing through like what is like a temple or a giant house.
Did anyone else get Kill Bill vibes
Yes,
from that?
I got Kill Bill vibes from that. That was cool.
I haven't seen Kill Bill, so no.
Basically, that's one of the ending fights of Kill Bill.
Okay.
No, that whole scene was fucking. There was some great cuts of animation in that. I love that.
Oh yeah,
Super good.
that was like phenomenal. It's like they took the concept from the second, like near the finale of the series, where the director is like going to meet the mangaka, and then they just exploded that into this elaborate animation set piece.
Yeah, now that you think,
Right.
now that you mention that, the movie almost feels like a very compact version of like the series in a way. Like showing all the stages.
Yeah, kinda.
And I don't mean that as like it was rushed, but it was like it's way more, I guess. Yeah, like I said, compact. It's like a nice bite-sized version of the series.
But even then, it still has just so many fun random bits in it, like a musical number.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on. Wait, like 3 musical numbers.
it has like multiple
Yeah.
musical numbers.
Yeah, I remember 2. There's the big one, and then there's like the one with the kids.
yes,
with the little kids,
with the old animator guy, right?
Yeah, and
Yes.
it just completely drifts off into a different art style, like an older looking art
Well,
style.
there's also the one at the very beginning of the movie as well.
I don't remember that one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It wasn't as elaborate. But there was another music. Like
I think I know what you're
musical number
talking
at the
about.
beginning. And as
Okay.
somebody who hates singing in anime, I was tortured by this movie.
I typically also do not like singing by characters in anime, but I loved these scenes. Like the big musical number that's like almost 5 minutes long. I'm just sitting there going like, this is the greatest thing ever. Mizushima, you have outdone yourself once again.
My favorite part of any of the musical numbers was that they had all the past characters doing the angel dance.
Yeah. That was so fun.
I loved that. Like when that started, I was like, "Oh my god, they're doing like it's like everything, even if it wasn't a section I was a fan of, had something in it that I could kind of grab onto and be like, "Oh, I love that they did that here." Like that's so good.
Yeah, I'm just remembering all of the fun little things that this movie does that like constantly throughout the movie it does these tiny little fun things that make it so enjoyable.
I liked there's one really tiny scene that I liked. I think I took a screenshot of it, but it's when Miyamori is like getting gas and the other guy shows up and she like aims the hose at him, the nozzle at him as like a gun. It's like it's just so good. I love it.
Okay, I gotta say one thing is that like going back to outfits, I was amazed that Miyamori had the exact same outfits 5 years later. That is impressive.
That's the old anime
she
logic.
put on like the old man. I wouldn't say it's a sweater. It's like a what is it called? It's like a button-up sweater kind of thing. It's green. She looks like an old dude. She dresses like an old dude a lot of the time. There's a word for it.
Actually, I am looking at the at least the key visuals for the different shows. They are different outfits, but yeah,
slightly different.
Like in the TV series, it looks like she had like a blue outfit, and in the movie, it was more like at least on the poster here, it looks like it has a red theme to it.
At one point, she has like a green sweater jacket kind of thing.
I do not remember the green.
I'm gonna look for this. I swear, I'm gonna look for this. All right,
I remember.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I feel like that was a thing, but I can't picture it.
Was it this? Sorry, audio listeners.
I'll have to,
or anybody really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's only a. Is it this thing?
Yeah.
Yes. That's a vibe.
It's like a Mr. Rogers jacket. Like
it is thing. Totally a Mr. Rogers jacket. It's a sweater.
Yeah.
Oh, looks cute.
She always looks cute.
Good stuff.
She even makes overalls work.
Yeah.
Impressive.
She does it. Mimori's great. Oh, I gotta say, this movie made me realize that I like this certain Seiyu when he's at his most insane sounding. What is his name? Shoot. I was just on his mail page.
Who?
Oh, Nobuyuki Hiyama. That guy. He is fantastic at his most insane. I don't know. So, like, for example, like, obviously he's Director Sam, right? Fantastic. He is also,
oh, yeah.
What is his name? He's also the Chuny in Orogairu. Fucking fantastic at that.
Right, yes.
Yeah. He is also, if anyone here has seen Tatami Galaxy, he is Woody as well, which is...
I don't remember which character that is.
Woody is the representation of Watashi's penis. Hence the name Woody.
Aha!
Yes.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
I forgot that was a thing.
No, it's so fucking funny.
I'm looking through his mail page. I'm trying to remember.
And then he has. Oh, it's a Johnny.
Johnny. Okay, I kept thinking Woody because he's dressed like a cowboy.
Yeah,
but Johnny also makes sense.
Oh yeah, that one.
He also has some. He's also some totally different roles, like Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho.
He's got range. Oh, really? That's the crazy part. He's
and Uzu from Kill la Kill, the green-haired student council.
He's also Viral from Gurren Lagann.
Yeah,
which is yeah.
Okay, now I'm starting to remember. Yeah,
he's also Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho, but I've never seen Yu Yu Hakusho in Japanese, so like.
Now the next time I watch Gurren Lagann, I'm gonna hear the director's voice coming out of him, and it's gonna sound so weird.
You guys want to hear what his most unusual role is?
What is it?
Link in the Legend of Zelda games.
Really?
Oh,
you know what? I've heard like. Okay, no, I can actually kind of hear it now that you mentioned that. I can kind of hear it a little bit.
Because I just remember that when you said that he voiced the guy from Kill la Kill, I was like. Oh yeah, that's the same guy because Green Swordsman. That's the guy who was Link as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, he split so.
Huh.
While we're on Director-san, I believe this is like a more. I don't know if this is true or not, but like, isn't he based on Seiji Mizushima?
Yeah, the director of FMAO 3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, who I believe is related to Tsutomu Mizushima, the director of this show.
That would not surprise me. I mean,
I believe I'm checking
to base someone off. To base it off.
No, he is not.
Okay,
he is not related to them. But he is not related to them. But they often jokingly call each other brother on Twitter, according to this Wikipedia page.
That's cute.
So.
Okay,
you'll love to see it.
That's fun.
What do y'all think of the bad guys in this movie?
Oh, the corporate, corporate fucks.
Yeah, the corporate. Because this came out at a very chance luck kind of time. Because this movie hit theaters, like after that announcement from Kadokawa, they're like, we're gonna put out X number of anime every season, and B, it came out right after the Supreme Court finalized Sony's buyout of Crunchyroll.
That is an interesting timing for sure, actually. I didn't even think about the the Supreme Court thing. Holy shit.
I found the bad guys very frustrating.
Yes. They were extremely frustrating, but
in general, I think that the internet how do I word this? The laws that are all about like copyright and, you know, rights holding and all that stuff, not made for the internet, and it just makes me frustrated daily. And so when you have villains who are just abusing that for no personal gain, they're doing it just to be assholes.
It's like he pushes this project off on them because he thinks it's a dead end and it's not going to make any money. And then as soon as he sees the slightest hint of a yen sign in his eye, he's like, now hold on a minute. No money for you.
I smell some money. What's going on?
Yeah, it's like, don't forget, we own this. You don't own this.
Very frustrating. And that's obviously on purpose. So they did a good job of making me hate him, but I couldn't stand him. Yes,
he is purposefully one-dimensional, which is fine.
Give me back the funny story guy. Like I'd rather have him.
I kind of wish funny story guy was here. God, kind of wish he was.
I wish they showed him like working at a 7-Eleven or something.
Something like that. Yeah, no, this was a good movie. I mean, it's not my favorite movie, but it was a fun movie. I had a good time with it.
It's the best movie I've seen in theaters this year.
Oh,
I would agree with that. Yes,
I'm trying to think about what the best movie I've seen in theaters is. I haven't seen that many movies in theaters.
Sorry, that's my phone.
I've seen.
To be fair, I think I've only seen this and the Demon Slayer movie this year. So
I mean, if we're gonna keep it to anime movies, it's probably the best one I've seen so far.
Yeah,
but if we keep it to just if we extend it to like any movie, I think I enjoyed the Suicide Squad just a little bit more. Just a bit more.
I've not seen that yet.
I haven't seen that. I'm gonna go see Shang-Chi this weekend, and I expect Shirobako to still be the best movie I've seen in theaters.
I mean, Shang-Chi looks not great, to be honest. It looks really boring.
I'm watching it because it has the Marvel tag on it. This is exactly what they want. Consume product and wait for more product.
I love hype cycles.
Like I watched Endgame, and then like my interest in the MCU just dropped to zero. I was like, I'm done. This was a good end. I'm done.
I'm still waiting for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at some point. Oh, in the next Thor movie, for sure. It's going to be a good time. Excited for that. If it ever comes out.
I'm just consistently disappointed in What If week after week.
What if it was good?
It's really not good.
But what if it was?
That should be the final episode. What if this show was actually good?
What if we gave a shit? Well, I guess that's a good stopping point.
Yeah, sure. I feel like we talked about a lot of other things more than we talked about the Shirobako movie. Oh, can I complain about the subtitles in this movie?
Actually, yeah, we can go back to the subtitles for sure.
I was so mad when they said "Don donuts, go donuts." Not what the sub
I don't remember that, but that sounds
wanted to flip a table because it should be "Don donuts, let's go nuts." Right? That's good. That's probably a.
See, I remember it being that.
That's probably a creative translation.
See, I remember it being "Let's Go Nuts" when I saw it in theaters, but maybe my memory of the show is overriding it. I don't know.
In theaters, it was "Don donuts, go donuts."
Huh.
And I was like,
"That is go donuts." It's like going to the Pokemon polls or whatever. Pokemon go to the polls.
Pokemon go to the polls.
Go donuts to the polls, you guys.
I was so angry.
Oh, do you mean like you're gonna go nuts, but they're like go donuts? Is that like what they're going for? Because that's so dumb.
I know. See, I don't know what the actual literal translation would be. I don't know what they actually say. Maybe this one's more right, but it's
just
way
say
less fun.
Don donuts and just end it there, bro. Like that's fine enough. Like, dude, that's good.
Because it's obviously a pun, so there's a lot of ways it could be translated, but. I would definitely prefer "Let's Go Nuts" over. Yeah.
Over Go Donuts, yes.
Yeah.
Go Donuts. It's so fucking...
Go Donuts!
This
Like
reminds me,
Power
so this
Rangers,
is like really off topic, but there's so member of the podcast Bacon has told me about a coworker he used to have named Chad of all things. And he watched Cowboy Bebop, right? And he instead of saying 3, 2, 1, let's jam, he would always just say 1, 2, 3, let's go. And I always thought that was fucking hilarious.
Ew.
Oh god.
No.
Oh god.
Maybe that's what they'll say in the Netflix.
I was
version.
gonna say like I was actually trying to bring up like, yeah, what if they just said 1, 2, 3, let's go.
It already looks like a bad cosplay shoot.
Oh my god. Good fucking
when cosplay shoots go wrong and someone tears their ACL.
I do like that they got a dog. They got an actual dog for that show.
Yeah.
That rules. That's awesome.
There's no Ed to go with the dog, though.
Yeah. I imagine, so it's like, what, only 10 episodes? Ed is only introduced in episode 9, I think. I
don't know how you would do Ed in live action anyway. I don't think...
Just do CG Ed.
Yeah.
Just a CG person.
Honestly, okay, so it wouldn't be that expensive because I know CG companies are not unionized, so that's cheap as fuck. So you can get away with that.
Jesus.
Well, that's how it works for Disney. Most of their money goes into like either marketing or like star power. That's literally it.
Yeah.
It's not
Disney
like it goes to special effects.
Disney doesn't even pay their stars.
Yeah, even then they don't even pay their stars. I don't know where this money goes to. I think it's laundering. I don't know.
Now what they could do is just do it like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and just cut scenes of Ed from the anime and paste it into the scenes.
They could do that,
Perfect.
but that would be painstakingly long. But it would be totally worth it. I would love that.
But just Ed. Everybody else is normal. The dog.
That
normal.
would be cool as shit.
And
I feel like that would
and
work
no one
almost.
acknowledges it. It's just totally normal for all the characters
You
in
might
the
as well
show.
just do that with the dog too. That would be funny as shit. They could do that if they do
That
the
would be
episode
wild.
with like the fridge and they all like ingest the smell and they all become anime or some shit. God, that would be great. I should write this show.
The Shirobako movie, I think, should have done the opposite, right? They should have just had real Hideaki Anno
Oh my god,
in the doorway
yes.
and not acknowledge it at all.
Yeah, he would look so tired though at this
He would
point.
just look tired. He'd be like, okay, cool.
Like, I think Anno has aged faster in real life than he would have aged in this show.
No, he looks like he's 70, but he's not that old, actually. He is...
No, he's not. But spending 8 years on a movie does that to a man.
got a lot of weight on his shoulders,
Well, he didn't just do Evangelion for 8 years.
He did Godzilla. He's doing, I think, another movie, yeah.
I think he's doing
he's
Ultraman.
Right. Yeah.
And he's working on the Kamen Rider 50th anniversary.
Oh my god. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's busy as fuck.
He's finally doing what he started out doing, which is goofy tokusatsu stuff that he loves.
I mean, Evangelion is based on a lot of tokusatsu, so it's more or less tokusatsu, so...
Speaking of goofy tokusatsu, get hyped for Ultraman Season 2 coming this April to Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was a season 1. Oh god, we are so off topic. Jesus Christ.
Ultraman is good. Good show.
I want to get into it at some
I'm
point.
excited for the Kamen Rider anime that they announced.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's coming out, but I'll watch it.
Yeah. My local Best Buy just had like a random season of Ultraman, so I'm like, all right, I'll pick that up.
There was an Ultraman. I saw Ultraman at my work last week. Not the show, but we have like a TV that advertises local events, and one of the slides was advertising KaijuCon, and it said, "Come to KaijuCon. We're talk about like Godzilla and Ultraman."
Yo,
and others.
KaijuCon in the Midwest? That's crazy.
And I was like, why are they? Am I the only person in this building who knows who Ultraman is? Probably.
Crazy. I mean, obviously, you guys would recommend the Shirobako movie, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
Do we want to do like a score thing or no?
I don't give scores to things anymore. I just know whether I like it or not at this point.
That's fair.
I've actually become the guy who Smurf and I know is the audio coon stan. He doesn't even rate things. He just likes things or doesn't like things. It's a total Chad move. I kind of respect it.
Yeah.
I absolutely respect it.
Whenever we're talking about our scores, he just says
dash.
Dash.
I just give it a dash.
That's just a smiley face.
Chad shit right there. Yeah.
No, not a smiley
just
face,
a dash.
Specifically a dash. He'll say whether a show is good or like he'll talk to you about a show and be like, yeah, that's good. I like the show because of this. Like he'll tell you why he likes or dislikes a show.
He just doesn't do scores.
But you can't tell by looking at his mouth.
That's actually kind of a better way to like gauge whether you should watch something or not. Not just because someone gave it a good score, but like they explained what they liked about it, and you're like, oh, based on what they liked about it, I wonder if I would like that too, kind of thing. It's actually kind of better.
See, that's what reviews are supposed to be, but I think everyone forgot about that at some point.
And they cared too much about the score, yeah. They were like, okay, I have the score, but now I have to go backwards and explain why I have the score, as opposed to the score being at the end kind of thing, you know what I mean? But
yeah. It's like going to like, if you're for like video games, it's like if you watch Donkey or Yahtzee and expect them to give a good score to a JRPG. It's not going to happen. And you should know why it hasn't happened.
Like, why would you even take Donkey seriously on like anything? That's the crazy part. Like, it's Donkey.
Yeah, you'll just watch Donkey complain about things that are bad in the game when he's not playing the game properly.
That also happens.
Like, what was it in Octopath Traveler? He was fighting a high level enemy with like the weakest weapon of a weapon type that the enemy resisted, and he was like, "Look at this shit! Fights take way too long." And it's like, yeah, because you're using literally the worst. Because you're using literally the worst weapon you possibly could. Well, I don't know. He's good comedy, but I feel like it doesn't fit in the. We're talking about Donkey now. That's all.
Oh god, we're way off topic.
We've gone in so many different directions at this point.
Okay.
Just like Musashi Animation.
Yes.
Holy
shit. All right.
Yeah, the little studio that could.
But I will talk about my score for this.
Okay.
I gave the series a 10 when I initially watched it. Loved the series. It's the only like non-battle shonen in my top 10, I think. And I gave the movie an 8. So really liked the movie. Not as good as the show, but I really liked the movie. Would definitely recommend it to anybody who likes Shirobako. It's definitely worth watching.
Nice.
Yeah, and I also have like 12 screenshots of Suka because they made it easy for me.
Yeah. I think I believe I gave the series an 8 when it came out. I definitely think it will be higher if I rewatch it, just because my taste has changed so much since then. But I gave this movie a 9. I just absolutely loved almost every part of it. So far, it's my anime of the year.
Wow. I can't even say I have an anime of the year because I haven't watched like anime. Okay, so like I did start Demon Slayer yesterday because I was hanging out with a girl and she like loves Demon Slayer. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go watch it with her. Right? Because that's the logical thing to do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, right? But other than that, I haven't watched any anime, so I guess this would be low-key my anime of the year, just by like this is the thing I've liked the most.
My anime of the year would probably be X-Arm. No, not really.
I couldn't even give a groan for that. It was just silence.
X-Arm overhated. I don't know what my anime of the year would be. What did I like this? What came out this year that I liked? I don't know. I'm sure I give it an 8. I gave an 8 to something in spring, probably, or something. I don't know.
Did you not like Odd Taxi?
Odd Taxi was fine.
Okay.
I mean, it's good. I liked it. I didn't love it as much as
I remember because like the entire Discord server fucking creamed over that show.
I didn't like it as much as other people. I still thought it was a really good show, but it did not blow me away.
It was a big thing with Odd Taxi for me is for the first like 3 episodes, I thought it was a 3 out of 10.
Wow.
Really?
I thought it was insanely boring. I did not understand how anybody could possibly like the show. And then like I just kept watching it. I was like, I guess I'll just keep watching. And around like episode 5 or 6, it like clicked and I was like, okay, I'm actually interested now. Like it just took a long time for me. So I can't like I can't give something above a 7 if I thought it was a 3 out of 10 for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's a good show. It's a good show.
I'm looking at my list now. I finished I've already finished 30 anime this year. It's fucking insane.
That's it?
Because I try everything. Like, everything.
I'm at 63 shows for the year already.
Oh my god.
That you finished? Jesus.
Well, that includes things that are airing right now.
Okay.
Those are rookie numbers, Ember. You gotta boost them up.
You gotta boost those.
This is because like 30 is normally the number that I end the year with, and we're only through 2 seasons at this point. So
I usually do about 20 shows a season, so
oh my god,
that's pretty normal for me. I usually do about I used to get about 100 mal entries a year.
Jesus.
Yeah, I give up on stuff if it sucks.
my best, I would say, is like Doctor Stone season 2 or Moriarty season 2 would be like the things I've given 8 so far. Yeah.
Do you see the second season of Megalobox?
I haven't seen the first season of Megalobox.
I would recommend.
I wanted to watch Ashita no Joe first, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So,
okay, we are like way off track. Holy shit!
Yeah,
we have gone off the rails. We are in the ditch now.
All right, I guess we should stop.
All right. I guess I would recommend the movie too. It was a good movie. I mean, I feel like if you've watched the series and you liked it, you're probably gonna go watch the movie. Like, chances are, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people, myself included, have a hard time motivating themselves to watch movies.
No, yeah, that's hard.
Just because they're long.
Yeah,
because I have like a lot of movies that I would like to watch, and there's one it's in my media folder that I've been staring at for like months now. That I'm like, okay, that seems like a movie I would probably fucking like, but like I just don't watch it. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's weird because like I'll watch like half of a TV show like no problem, but then like sitting through a movie and I'm like, fuck, I gotta have to invest in like a whole hour and a half of my time kind of thing. Like I tried watching like the first 2 hours, or I got through the first 2 hours of like the second Godfather movie, and it was like, this is cool. I like this more than the second one. And then I just stopped watching it. I don't know, like I got distracted and I just never got back to it. But I was like, oh, that's a cool movie. But
about a couple years ago, I watched the first 5 minutes of that Napping Princess movie. Do you guys know what that is?
that was a thing.
I watched like the first 5 minutes of it and never continued.
Yeah, my one for that is I still haven't seen A Silent Voice yet.
Wow.
Yeah,
that one I watched half of that before work and the second half when I got home from work.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like I know I'm gonna like it, but it's like a 2-hour movie. Again, it's just I have to pick a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that
I hope
is
you like
a good time.
Sure,
this is a good place to probably close this book.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. I don't know how to plug things. We got a YouTube channel. We've got RSS feed. We've got. I think we're on Spotify. I think. Actually, it was.
Yes, you are.
It was literally me that added everything to the RSS feed. So I should know.
I follow the podcast on Spotify. I've never listened to an episode on Spotify. Probably never will, but I follow it.
I've tried, and it's like listening to things on YouTube. So
I have a podcast app that I use to listen to the podcast. So
to be honest, I don't even listen. I mostly listen to podcasts on like YouTube more often than not. It's weird because it's also like my music streaming service. Even though I don't use YouTube Music, I just use it on my desktop with like an ad blocker, and I'm good to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
See, I came to the realization that I could listen to podcasts at work, so that's all I do now when I'm at work.
Yeah, I listen to podcasts or I watch YouTube, but I generally I watch things that I don't have to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know? Like if I'm just listening to a guy rant, if I put on a YouTube video of a guy ranting about shitty products he bought from infomercials, I don't have to watch him rant. I can have it on and listen while I work.
Right.
Yeah, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, I think we're on iTunes. We're anywhere that you could probably find us. You can find us.
We were on iTunes years ago. I don't know if it's still the same.
To be fair, I haven't done the whole recording thing in like forever, so I'm like, okay, what do I say for these things? But
Spotify, YouTube for sure. You have a Twitter account.
Oh yeah, we do have a Twitter at Tokyo Podfathers. It's all one
Tokyo
name.
Podfathers.
And
it's a good Twitter. Has memes.
It does have memes. Fuck yeah.
It's a good Twitter account.
I haven't used it since I got ratioed by Shaw one time. This was months and months ago. So I said that like Sopranos is better than Breaking Bad, and then I got ratioed by Shaw, and then I swore never to use it again. I'm like, no, fuck this.
Yeah. I guess big shout out to 11 Arts and High Dive for bringing this over to the States.
Sure.
Definitely. I will.
Despite, I guess, problems, shout out to them for actually bringing it over, because it is kind of a niche movie, sort of. Yeah. It's niche in the sense that it was popular at the time. Like, the series was popular when it came out, but it's like, what, 5 or 6 years after the series?
And it was never mainstream. It wasn't like...
It was popular within, like, the online anime community, but with, like, normies, not so much. Like...
Yeah.
I don't know if this is entirely accurate to throw shade at this, but from what I've heard from some people, it might have been on Fathom's side that some of the issues might have come from.
Unfathomable.
God. That would make sense. I've had issues with Fathom in the past. Yeah. Shout out to that time that I watched when I went and saw the first Digimon Tri movie in theaters. That's Fathom put out. That movie, okay, the first movie ends, and then they go, here's the trailer for the third movie. And I go, why the fuck would I watch the trailer for the third movie right now? I haven't seen the second movie. You haven't they never put it in theaters. They put 1, 4, 5, 6 in theaters. They just never did 2 or 3.
That sounds like about as much as a train wreck as Digimon Tri itself. So,
well, if one day I'll finish Digimon Tri. And also, when I went and saw No Game No Life 0, they put a spoiler at the beginning, like in the interviews before the movie.
That's fucking hilarious.
They did. I remember that. They did.
Good job, guys.
Shout out to Fathom. Okay.
Do better.
Yeah, so I hope everyone has a great day. Wash behind your ears. Remember to tell your parents that you love them. Unless you don't love them, then don't fucking do that. I mean, it seems pretty self-explanatory, but whatever. Shoot. Yeah. See everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.